I mean, I'm not even gonna wait for this game to end. The Charlotte Hornets are down 31 at the end of the third quarter. I was gonna wait for the game to be over, but there's literally no point. There's literally no point of waiting for this game to be over. This was such a heartbreak. Going into this game, I thought that we for sure had it. Obviously, it's a play-in leading up to the postseason. The Magic won it, the Hornets won it, so it's not like it's gonna be an easy game. But the Charlotte Hornets beat the Orlando Magic 3 times this year, okay? They played them 4 times, beat them 3. Orlando Magic beat them, I think, the first time they met. And it's just not going our way. It hasn't gone our way since tip-off. The Orlando Magic, it was like 10-25 at some point. I mean, I'm just heartbroken. This is 10 years in a row where the Charlotte Hornets have not made the playoffs. The season didn't start off good, but then January and February of 2026 roll around and the Charlotte Hornets go on an absolute heater. Their starting five are like super, super, super efficient offensively. One of the best efficient offensive play. The best. How can I word this? One of the best offensively efficient teams of all time were the Charlotte Hornets. And defense was just lacking in this game against the Orlando Magic. And the Orlando Magic's defense is just too good. The paint presence is a big miss. Moussa Diabate, Ryan Kalkbrenner, doesn't matter. The interior defense, offense is just non-existent. LaMelo had 2 points in the first half. He put on a show for the third quarter. I think he had like 16, 18 points in the third quarter. Wasn't enough, though. Orlando just kept scoring because our defense just couldn't keep up. I'm not going to count this season as a loss. I'm not going to count this season as a bad season, especially starting with 4-14. You know what I mean? Being 11-22 at one point, fighting our way back to be a positive team with 44 wins this season, making the play-in, winning our first play-in game ever. So close, just one game for making the playoffs to go against the Detroit Pistons, who I think we had a chance against. I'm not going to say that we're going to win this series by a long shot, but I think, 6 or 7 we could have. I mean, their first seed, obviously a tough team, been playing great all year. They got hell of a defense. We talk about the Orlando Magic defense this game. Detroit's defense, forget about it. But I'm not going to count this season as a loss because we did strive. We did come back to fight for a postseason appearance. And it was great to see. This is the most fun Hornets basketball that I've seen probably in my entire lifetime, and I've been a fan for like 15 years since the Bobcats. I mean, Paolo Banchero, like, how do you even stop that? That dude took the doubters and the haters, and he took it to the next level. 31 right now as we're entering the fourth quarter. Now down 33. There's no coming back here. All right, so like I said, I'm not gonna take this season as a loss. This team is super young. Okay, like LaMelo's 24, Khan is like 20, 21. I think the oldest on our starting lineup is Miles Bridges. He's 28. I mean, Grant Williams is like 27, 26. Moose is like 21. Ryan Kalkbrenner's super young. Sion James is like 22. Brandon Miller's like 23, 24. So this whole entire team is super young. The biggest question, though, is what happens with LaMelo Ball. Will LaMelo Ball be a Charlotte Hornet next year? And that's a big question. Eats up a lot of cap. He's obviously the most paid player on the Hornets team. After this play-in, will he be a Charlotte Hornet next year? Will he want to be a Charlotte Hornet next year? Will the Hornets think that he's bright enough for this future to grow? I think personally, LaMelo has his ups and downs. He's a very inconsistent player, and I love LaMelo to death. I've been a fan since Chino Hills. He's been my favorite basketball player since Chino Hills. I mean, I've been watching him. Spire, Australia, Lithuania, doesn't matter. I have a Lithuania jersey of his. I have an Australian jersey of his. I have 3 Hornets jerseys of his. Like, LaMelo's been my favorite player since I was in high school. But he's inconsistent. I'll just say that. But he's super efficient. Like, the pace that he plays at and the way that he plays, he's efficient. Like, this dude went, 2 for 16 threes against the Miami Heat and still had a plus 15. He's super efficient. He runs the floor well. We obviously have seen the Hornets before Kobe White getting traded there and being able to take over as a backup. The Hornets, when LaMelo goes off the floor, they're dog shit. They're not good. They can't get anything going. The offense isn't fast enough. The offense, there's not someone that can see the floor. That was a problem with Colin Sexton as well, which is why we went out and got Kobe White, who has been phenomenal since getting traded to the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, we saw what he did against the Miami Heat, 17 points in the second half. We saw the game tire against the Miami Heat to send it to overtime. There's a bunch of positives we could take from this year, and there's a bunch of negatives we could take from this year. I'm all over the place. I don't have anything set in front of me. I don't have a paper. I'm just rambling. Because, I mean, I didn't know what to say coming into this video. I didn't want to sit and think about it. I wanted my real reaction to how I'm feeling. And I'm not going to sit here and scream and yell and be like, fuck the Hornets, fuck Charles Lee, fuck LaMelo Ball. I'm not going to get on here and do that. It's not fair, especially with how hard this team has fought back and how hard this team has played, especially the second half of the season. This is Charles Lee's second year being a head coach. I guess the biggest question, I think we definitely keep Charles Lee. I mean, he's a hell of a head coach. I definitely don't see us splitting our ways with him. The biggest question is just, is LaMelo a Hornet next year? And it would break my heart if he wasn't, but what would we even do? Like, what would the Charlotte Hornets even do? Who would we go for? Who would be the replacement? Kobe White? Could Kobe White be the starter next year? Who would be the backup? Sion James? Could Kobe White be the replacement? I mean, he is very efficient on offense. He doesn't really see the floor as well as LaMelo. I'm looking at the game. I got Con and LaMelo sitting side by side and just absolute doom and despair on their faces. We definitely need a paint presence. I would say, I've been saying all year, trade Miles Bridges. But I feel like that would kind of ruin the chemistry a little bit. We definitely need a power forward center presence. Go get Bam. Go get Giannis. Do whatever you could do. I would love if Bam was on the Hornets next year. Giannis is probably a long shot. But we need an interior presence. And especially an interior defense when you're playing against a team like this. I mean, they have been bullying us all game. All game. Guard depth is decent. But, like, we need more. I mean, Brandon Miller has turned into a decent wing defender, but we need better defense. That's what it comes down to. We need better defense. That's what it comes down to, is a defense. I mean, we had one of the best efficient offensive teams in the history of the NBA. We don't have defense. Where's the defense? Told myself I wasn't gonna yell. But it's hard. I'm upset, bro. You guys understand? I'm upset. I'm hurt. We now have to wait to see what this team looks like next season. See what the draft looks like. If the Suns lose tonight, we get a lottery pick from the Suns. I think we get a lottery. If we lose this game, I don't think we get a lottery pick. But we get a lottery pick if the Suns lose against the Warriors tonight, so that I'll be cheering for. Still down 31. 9 minutes left in the fourth. I just going into this game, I thought we had it. Definitely thought we had it. Shout out Paolo. Can't even hate on Paolo. He's from Seattle. Hometown. Home city. He's putting on. I know people are probably watching this being like, well, break it down. I'm not a stat guy, okay? I'm not a stat guy. I'm not a fucking basketball nerd. I'm just here giving my feelings and my opinions from a real what's the word? Die-hard Hornets fan. This is my raw emotions. These are my raw feelings. I got Tijon Salon checking in. Tijon Salon checking in. Yeah, get me out of here, bro. Our future's bright, though. Our future's bright. That's what I could say is our future's bright. Colin Knippel, Brandon Miller, Musa Diabate, of course. The rest of the team, I don't know. You know what I mean? I guess Sion James, too. Sion James is like, he's definitely had some bad moments this season, but he's a rookie. You know what I mean? They're just destroying us, bro. They're just destroying us, bro. It's just LaMelo. What's going on with LaMelo? I'd hate to see LaMelo get traded to a different team. I hate to see him in a different jersey. He'd be fire on the Clippers, though. Give us Kawhi for LaMelo. Darius Garland. Imagine LaMelo for Darius Garland. Would that be decent? We'd probably need like a first-round pick. Darius Garland, a first and a second for LaMelo. I'm so down for that. Definitely don't want to see LaMelo leave, though. But like I said, bro, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm not gonna keep this going for too long. I'm not gonna take this as a negative season, especially with how we started off, especially with Brandon Miller's injury, with LaMelo's injury. While they have stayed healthy throughout the rest of the season, I'm not going to take this as a negative season. I am going to be like, all right, well, the future's bright. This is the foundation that's laid out. Charles Lee looking like a great head coach. We got a young core. We got a young team. The future moving forward it'll rely on either we keep LaMelo or not. If we don't, it is what it is. If we do, let's keep working. And that's the end of the season. That'll wrap up your 2025-2026 Charlotte Hornets season. It's been fun, though. This was a hell of a fun season, bro. Hell of a fun season. Does Kobe White only have like 1 year left on his contract? I would love to see Kobe White sign a new contract. I think him as a Charlotte Hornet could be beautiful. Him as a Charlotte Hornet for the near future, 4-year contract would be absolutely gorgeous. I hope Jeff Peterson could get that done. But yeah, leave in the comments below if you're a Hornets fan. Leave in the comments below how you're feeling. Get it out. You know what I mean? Get it out. Get your anger out. Get your feelings out. Get your sadness out. Your sorrows out. And if you're positive about the next season, put in the comments. Just let me know how you're feeling. But anyways, go Buzz City, go Hornets. And until next season.